Our newest little spy episode there. Um, Secrecy is something that needs to be guarded. There are very few things that, in my opinion, is bad about secrecy. Very few. You're fucking stupid to not keep your cards close to your chest when it comes to military engagements or planning or logistics or anything else. And this kid gave away information to make himself feel big. See, that's immaturity. Now, you might want to look at his employer to ask why was he in that position? Maybe we needed a psychological evaluation, or were there people monitoring what he was doing online, and for how long did they do it, and how much did he really put out there that was drawn out of him by agents of the other side? You see, it gets really complicated when you talk about secrets, and it's supposed to be secrets within secrets is how you keep secrets. Very seldom does lying and dissuasion work, except for one exception. And one of the things that bothers me the most, okay, is because we have technology that they call, ace in the hole. And these ace in the hole technologies are for when shit hits the fan, your enemies will be taken by surprise. For every dollar that is spent on these projects, okay, $2 is spent to keep it a secret, which means you will have entire other functioning programs over here, like cat jugglers. Look over here while you're doing your thing over here with actually, a half of the budget that you have. It's very difficult to keep things like that a secret. I know that the UFO phenomenon has been incredibly beneficial, okay, to the development of air vehicles, let's just say that, in the United States. I don't have a problem with that. Unfortunately, for me, the mixing of two technologies has created a war machine before a problem-solving machine. So think about if you had an energy source that would make a tokamak reactor look ineffective and inefficient and ancient and childish. Think about if you had technology in your possession that could basically help solve the problems of the world. But if you shared that technology, it could be turned into a weapon. So one of the reasons that we don't have good relations with visitors is because of the shit we did that Bob Lazar talked about, where they wanted to take this technology they were given and immediately start turning it into other fucking shit. And so these visitors just said, okay, we're taking back this material. And that's why they keep raiding Bob's house, looking for this other material, okay? They keep, they want to make his life miserable. What he predicted absolutely came true. See? So you're kind of fucked. You're between a rock and a hard place. I think that's exactly where it came from. You have technology that can solve the world's problems, but the world's problems need you to keep the shit secret. When I talk about anything that I know in the military, what I have said is, period, yeah, I've been on the bus with the blacked out windows. That's it. That's it. My experiences in other areas here where I live, okay, that I could just talk about to make myself feel big because I know something really, really amazing, and and that's all just fucking ego. It's not responsible. If you want to talk about stupid fucking shit going on inside nuclear reactors, yeah, I watch people smoke weed in a fucking nuclear reactor. Not in the reactor, of course, inside the containment dome, while we were doing eddy current inspections on the steam generator. He ended up, because he was high, walked off the end of a walkway and down into this pile. It was literally a pile of Insulation and stainless steel sheets that they put around the pipes as insulation, they buckle on. These things are sharp. He's probably still shitting in a jar. I don't know. But I know that they rushed him out of there immediately to the hospital, probably because he had open wounds after being exposed to radioactive dust and everything else that's in there. You know what I mean? Don't have any problem talking about the fucked up shit in the nuclear industry. I was an opponent, then a proponent, then an opponent, then a proponent. You know what I mean? I see shit that happened at Daiichi where they put the generators for their auxiliary generators on the outside by the seawall because they were so fucking arrogant as to tell Mother Nature, you're not going to make a wave bigger than that. For me, is that is criminal. It's criminal. It's not just stupid. It's fucking criminal. Look how short the cables are, and look how much smaller the generators can be. We'll just put these smaller ones here with shorter leads. Yeah, fuck. See? Criminal. There are things that I don't believe only the government should have, because it's supposed to be ours, but it's for our own good for us to not know about it. Well, unfortunately, I agree with that fucking philosophy. 100%. So how do we find a way of taking the advanced technologies that are being hidden and getting them out in the public service, okay, without us destroying ourselves? You see, here's a big problem with an ace in the hole kind of weapon. Okay, and let's just assume that these little tic tacs everyone is seeing are us. What would you do if you had an enemy and you both had guns, but you wake up the next morning and he has a gun, but he also has a shield, and now all you have is a gun? Not a comfortable sensation, see? And therein lies the progressive shit we went through when I was young about who could build the most nuclear missiles, you know? No, that kid, he betrayed his country. He didn't have any legitimate bitches or complaints about the military. He simply wanted to be big man on campus, online, playing video games, where I know you can get completely sucked in and engrossed into it because of the activity at the moment, which is fast-paced shooter games like Call of Duty or whatever. You're wanting to be Mr. Big Man on fucking campus. Everyone does. I've seen it. That's why I don't go there. I don't play those anymore. The reason that he did it was immature, stupid, arrogant, and as far as the damage and the injuries that he was doing to others, did not come into his equation. And therein lies the crime, is that he affected the lives of others, the outcomes of other things that are much bigger than his little fucking ego, was more important. No. The problems that he has caused, okay, surmount anything he could ever do to make it up for in his life, or maybe a few lives. Certain information is incredibly important. Decisions are made on it. Knowledge. Sun Tzu. Again, I always have the book sitting right here. That book, the book is never far away from me, because the lessons that are in there pertain to life and pretty much everything in general, right? Spies is one of the things that he covers in the last part of The Art of War. It's one of the last chapters, okay? Spies, he put a great deal of information about spies and their use and counter spies and how they should be treated. He understood that human intelligence, there's nothing really more valuable than human intelligence. Because you damn sure don't want to show up to a knife fight and everybody has guns, right? It would be nice for you to go, yeah, everybody's got guns, man. Leave your knife at home and take your gun. Real simple, not complicated. Getting that person inside where useful information is contained can take many, many years. And the shit that he did could expose certain channels or back channels that could then lead people to assume that it must be that guy right there. And that's what he did. And so he's betrayed his country. He's betrayed his country. I could sit here all day long talking about the fucked up shit the VA's done to me, okay? But that wouldn't justify talking about shit that I know. That's craziness. And I don't think he could really separate. I think he didn't have it. It's not like he had a lack of respect or 30 years of being fucked over by the government. No, he simply wanted to be big man on campus. And yeah, I'm sorry, but I had someone who I knew that thought the guy was some kind of Edward Snowden, and I said, no, man, it's a completely different fucking scenario here. You have no idea what you're talking about. And so he's been listening to, something, Marjorie Taylor Greene or something, right? Where she's like, oh, he's a fucking hero. She's a traitor to her country. That's the only way I can explain it, is for her to try to come up with these excuses like it's her son or something and he just cheated on a test at high school or something, you know what I mean? And for her to be sitting on the committee she's sitting on, oh man. So yeah, secrecy, it's needed. People don't like it. I understand that, okay? And I understand why. I'm not interested in the secrecy or the shit that people shouldn't know. I'm interested in solutions that I see being hidden away for justifiable reasons that puts me between a rock and a hard place. And it's hard for me to decide what is right and what is wrong, okay? But it's pretty well known that we have these technologies at our disposal and we're utilizing them. And so that's our money. When Colonel Corso gave all those technologies to different companies and said, we want to make it on the backside, that belonged to us. That didn't fucking belong to these corporations and companies. It belonged to us. So yeah, I got my bitches and complaints about how it's run and things like that, but I understand the basic principles of keeping one's mouth shut about stuff that could harm other people. Okay? So that's what he did. Wanted to be a big man on campus, and that doesn't cut it. That's probably that's probably the best reason to prosecute this guy, is the reason that he did what he did was just to be for his his own ego. That's all.